Hey everybody, tonight I am actually going to do homemade baked chicken nuggets in my Ninja Foodi. First I'm actually going to prep my nuggets before I actually turn my Foodi on. I do have a half a cup of melted butter. I just got done melting this in one bowl. You also do 1 cup of Italian style breadcrumbs. That's going in a separate bowl here. Followed by a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. And then you do 1 teaspoon of salt. And 1 teaspoon of thyme. And last but not least, you do 1 tablespoon of basil. And then obviously you're going to give that a little stir. Mix it up all nice for your nuggets. Obviously you can play around with your seasonings. You can do, red pepper flakes. You can do a different kind of cheese if you want. You can just pretty much do whatever you want with this recipe. So that's kind of nice because you can kind of mix and match your own flavors. Once that's pretty well mixed, you do want to cut up your chicken. I believe the recipe called for like 3 chicken breasts. I only had 2 for this particular recipe because I'm also making some side dishes. But anyway, so you want them about, a decent bite size. But what you do, it's really simple. You just dip into the butter and then obviously into your mixture here. And I'm just going to multitask. Pat this on your little nugget here, just so it gets all the good flavors soaked in there. And that's kind of how it's going to look when it comes out. So I'm just going to finish up getting these all breaded, and then we'll move on to preheating the Foodi. Alright, as you can see, I have breaded all of my little chicken nuggets. And so now I'm ready to preheat my Foodi. I did want to tell you that I actually got this recipe for like an oven, so this is my first time that I'm actually trying it in my Foodi, so I'm very excited about it. I'm going to go ahead and close my lid. We are going to be doing the bake and roast function. I believe I'm going to set the temperature for 390. And I'm going to set my timer for at least 5 minutes so it can preheat before I put my chicken nuggets in there. Alright, so it's been 5 minutes. My Foodi is definitely ready to go. I'm going to try. It does. It will shut itself off if you set the timer for like 5 minutes. Well, if you set it for any time and you walk away because you get busy with doing something, it will shut itself off, so that's kind of nice. I'm just going to kind of lay these in here. Be very careful because it is very hot, since it is all preheated and ready to go. I'm going to try to see if I can fit all these in here. I don't know how successful I will be in that. So you might have to do a couple batches, depending.
How long are they supposed to bake for?
They actually get to bake for 20 minutes. Well, actually, you can actually shorten the time since you're actually doing this in your Foodi instead of your oven. So you can actually reduce the time by like about 5 minutes along with your temperature. So as you can see, I'm not going to overcrowd it. So I'm actually going to have to do another batch after this one, which is totally fine. I just didn't want to overcrowd it. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my Foodi back on since it shut itself off. And we're going to go ahead and close the lid because we are still going to be baking these guys in here. And I'm going to set my temp for 390. And I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes. And we'll be back as soon as it's done. Alright, I am done with the first little batch. Very anxious to see how these turned out. As you can see, they probably got pushed around a little bit just because of the airflow, since you are baking them. I am using tongs to get them out just because, like I said, I do need to do one more batch. But yeah, these actually look fantastic. Honestly, I would have to say they look better than they do in the oven. But that is obviously for a different time. So, but yeah, no, these look incredible, and I'm anxious to see how these turned out. So yeah, that is some big chicken nuggets. Alright, so since I didn't have enough room, I'm going to put in my second batch here. Since my food is already hot, there's no need to preheat, obviously. And then I'm going to do a taste test on the first little batch once they cool down a little bit here. But yeah, I wanted to get all these in here for sure. I might try to squish a couple of these together just so I can fit them all in here. Just for the sake of not having to do another batch after this. But yeah. So there they all are. Just be very careful because it is very hot. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and turn this back on. And like I said, I'm going to close my lid. We're going to bake and roast. We're going to set our timer for 390 and we're going to set it for 15 minutes. And we'll be back soon. Alright, so as you can see, I went ahead and cut the thickest one in half just to double check that it was done. Not that I have any questions about how my foodie cooks or anything, so I'm going to do a taste test now. Very hot. Oh yeah. Absolutely delicious.